Hey, this is Tom at Rocket Restorations. We're like 2 weeks later now, and Jamie's here to get the Imperials fired up. This thing looks really nice. It's got a 77 block in it, and looks like they actually like changed all the internals because it has a, you can't really see it because there's too much stuff in the way, but it's actually a forged crank in there. It's not a cast crank. The original carb intake. So it looks like they took a 77 block and converted it all over, but the gas doesn't even smell that bad. We're gonna be doing burnouts in this shortly. All right, I'll let Jamie finish his video. We're gonna do dueling videos this weekend. We'll see how that does. For all the sketchy stuff that Jamie does, and it's a long list, he won't compromise on battery hold downs. Apparently he doesn't like car fires. And we may take this to the field and may do burnouts, so yeah. The coupe is loud, but I really like it. So one little Imperial bit of trivia that I really had no idea about. So the reverse lenses were out of this. Jamie just put them back in, but they actually fancy Imperial. So this little piece of trim right there is actually a separate piece of trim they put on there. So it's just gingerbread for an Imperial. So that piece just screws on when you screw in the lamp. Never knew that before. I think it's kind of cool. All right, Jamie's about to try first fire on this. Oil looks good. Gas looks pretty good. We got a clean filter, which I normally don't like those, but in this case, it's actually kind of nice to see if any fuel's flowing and see how bad it looks. But the tank really doesn't smell that bad. This has been sitting 4 or 5 years, give or take. So let's see what happens. Cranks over the key, that's good. He's trying to start it without me. How dare him?
I was just checking.
I just realized this is an auto temp car. That's kind of the case of death on these because it's pretty much impossible to fix. Let's see if this thing will fire up. Ooh. Come on, baby. Come on.
We're good.
We got a runner. Even idle's pretty good. Smell coolant. It's got an exhaust. It's got a leak around one of the exhaust studs. On a Mopar, exhaust studs go into water, so if those aren't tight or sealed, he said it's a fresh engine, so they must have just missed one. Most of the time, those just seal up by themselves. Smoke's probably oil leak off the valve cover. That usually leaks over there. Yeah, it even idles. It's on the gas in the tank too. Tiny little exhaust leak. Other than that, man, we're gonna drive this thing in a minute. The one thing about Mopars that have been sitting is pretty much every time, I don't know why, but the tranny fluid's always low. I don't know if they just all leak. So Jamie put it neutral. I'm gonna go run it through the gears, which I can dipstick and see if it needs more tranny fluid, because they pretty much all do. All right, check the tranny fluid. It has fluid. This one was almost too easy. The convertible is going to be the challenge, but this one runs great. Very happy with this so far. Jamie's trying to tighten up the bolt to see if we can get the coolant leak to stop on the driver's side manifold, because you can't really see the coolant because it's going to burn off right away, but you can definitely smell it. It has that sweet coolant smell. So I'm not really sure what was standard on an Imperial. This is just the AM radio, but it has a search location function. So there's actually a really cool option on these. So you can press the button and it'll like try to search stations just like a modern radio. And then that's the short if you're in local locations. That's when you're in other locations. And then this had a power antenna and a rear speaker at some point. I think that was standard on the Imperial. All right, now it's time for burnouts. Let's see how it goes. How did that surprise? Oh God. Oh. And it died. Oh, this is terrible. Cheech and Chong would be impressed. It's so much work to jack a car up. It's way easier just to do a burnout to see if you have a sugar grip or not. No sugar grip in this one, unfortunately. But that was a pretty effortless burnout. So Jamie was just in the back and we just learned something I never knew about an Imperial. This actually has 2 door handle releases. So if you're in the passenger seat right here, if you're an executive riding in the back seat, you have your own door pull to get out. Also has a reading light back here and still works. And your own ashtray, of course, because, you know, 60s, everyone has to have their own ashtray. This thing is freaking cool. This thing's super, super cool. I feel like I need to do a Doug DeMuro, like quirks and features on this, because we keep on finding cool stuff. So watch this. It reclines. He might have thrown on his back doing that.
No, it's fine.
This thing's awesome. Jamie's gonna see if this thing sinks out there. It's pretty wet out there right now. Let's see how it goes. He made it! Yay! It just floats. It won't sink in the mud. It just floats over everything. It's a Chrysler Imperial. And by Chrysler Imperial, I mean it's not a Chrysler, it's actually just an Imperial. There's all of a sudden a lot of dirt and grass on my car. I wonder why. And now he's stuck. Of course he is. Now I gotta go drag him out. What did you do, Jamie?
Unstuck.
The drive shaft's making some funky noises. Will Jamie make it out? Watch the exciting conclusion on Dead Dodge Garage. You're just digging the hole deeper. Straighten the wheels out.
No.
Other way.
Other way? I don't know where I am.
That's
straight?
close to straight.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is I have clay soil, and when you put a big heavy car into wet clay,
Dude, it wants it. Good. Oh, man. So close.
I'm gonna grab the tractor. And now we get the tractor, because Jamie can't drive. Alright, here we go. Imperial out. So yeah, I love my little tractor, but it didn't get the job done, so time to bring out the big dog. Jamie's trying to get it out himself. The big dog's ready to eat when she needs to. See how it goes. This is the problem of not having a sugar it. You only get one tire. I'm gonna help push. Doing burnouts on dirt is impressive. I think it's the wood trying to catch on fire. They put it in the tires. So close. So close. Alright, time to let the big dog eat.
Right there.
Yeah, it gets a little slick out here. Yeah, Jamie's washing my truck down my car now. For the record, Jamie was trying to get that shot twice for his video and got it stuck.
I am very proud of myself.
It's ironical. All right, we got this one out. So this one's gonna be a bit more of a challenge for Jamie because this one's half apart and it's been sitting a lot longer. And I need to go get my daughter from daycare. So I'll send you an update in a little bit. Well, we got the green one running, but this one has a little bit of bad news. We checked the oil and it is like way, way, way too high and smells like stale gas and or coolant. So we're gonna try to get this one started soon, but we need to change the oil and it really needs to go inside in the lift. And the yard's getting a little out of hand right now with too many cars. So it's going to be a week or two till we can get it. So I'm just going to wrap up this video by giving you kind of a little tour of this car, and we'll call it good. So yeah, this one's a 1968 Imperial. It's a convertible. Green one's a hardtop. It's funny, the drops, like, it's nice having a little covered storage in here, but this thing like creates its own weather. It gets frosty and like rains down. It's kind of funny. It keeps it out of the direct rain. This is cool. Old school cruise control. It's like, it's actually a mechanical rod. That's when they were still having rods for throttle linkage instead of cables. This one's pretty original. You know, radiator's looking a little iffy. You don't see any coolant in there, so hopefully it's not in the crankcase. Somebody converted over to electronic voltage regulator. That was, I think, 69 for Imperials. It should still have a points. This unfortunately has the auto temp, which is not a plus on these. It's really hard to get them fixed. But we're gonna try to get this one running pretty soon. It has the Sentinel system, which I'm not actually sure what that is. I think it's either keeps the headlights on or it's like has automatic dimmer on it. I'm not really sure. This one's got way more options than the other one, but has the really cool front and rear door handles. You know, it's all unique Imperial window stuff. Here's the autopilot, so you can actually like set the mile per hour on it. It's really cool. Again, I'm pretty sure this is Imperial only stuff. So off, auto, autopilot. Sentinel's right here, so it's delay, max. Again, I should probably like look up exactly what that is because I'm not entirely sure what the Sentinel is. If anybody knows, mention it in the comments. This one they started pulling the dash apart, which is a little scary. You're not quite sure why. Hood release is down there. This says tilt telescopic. And the radio is hidden underneath here. There's nothing light about this car. Like nothing. Yeah, it doesn't want to open. There is a radio in there. I'm not sure what it is. Why won't you open? There we go. It is a AM? Oh, AM and FM. Nice. And it's got the location distance thing. As I mentioned on the green one, that's like a search. And flasher switch is actually behind the glove box, which is kind of cool. I've got all the parts for these. There's a ton of extra parts that came with them. All these dash trim bezels are all veneers and stuff, but this thing's really pretty nice. I mean, look at the interior. Came out of Texas. It's a pretty dry car. I don't really see any rust on it. You know, dash pad's nice. I think that's late, early. I think it's part of the Sentinel system. Again, I'm not sure. I probably should have done more research before I did this video, but you know, here we are. Got a coupon in here. What's that for? It's always fun looking in the glove box and finding nooks and crannies like change and stuff. Cummins Motor News. Wonder how old that is. It's got a area code on it, so it can't be too old. Yeah, convertible has these little sliders. That's a little like more support for the door because these things are pretty flexy. The hose is back there. I mean, God, man, the interior is really nice on this thing. The top's actually kind of doesn't look that bad either. You got to be careful with these; they can shrink. But when we get it running, we'll see if the top works. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this car. Need to get it cleaned up. They so these are supposed to have like chrome side trim. Somebody put on like these rubber bump strips, probably to kind of protect it. That's fallen off in the meantime. I actually have all that trim. Skirts are still off. We had to pull in to get the drums free. If you watched the other video, we picked this up. We had to, the rear drums were locked up on this, so we had to pull them apart. And I didn't really see any point in putting the skirt on because you just got to fix the rear brakes. But yeah, this thing's kind of cool. There's collector plates on it. This thing's been sitting for a while. That has that little chrome strip on the reverse. So yeah, this thing's really pretty nice. 68 has the side markers, the square ones. That's unique to 68. That's really the easiest way to tell the 67 and 68s apart. There's a bunch of other differences, but that's the major one. The window's down. I think it was down. I don't know if we tried to put a battery in it yet. Power antenna. So yeah, it's probably going to be a week or two till we get to this one. I'll probably do a video on it when we get to it. But yeah, really nice solid convertible. And we'll see if I can get this one running, get the brakes fixed. And this thing would be a fantastic summer cruiser. I like to just take a convertible and drive it for most of the summer. This would be a great candidate for that. So, well, there you go. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Tom from Rocket Restorations, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So yeah, Jamie, after getting this thing stuck, washed it. I think he's gonna have to come back and do it again. This is no active mud on it, but it's a lot dirtier than when he got it stuck in that bank back there.